you can prove that your spouse has been cheating with you for many months and is spending money, the money of the marriage, with somebody else.
How can we help them to make things fair for them?
If you're not married in Florida, there is no such alimony. If there is children, it will be child support because that has nothing to do with the marriage situation. Welcome for a new episode. Today we're gonna talk about a very common investigation that we do as a private investigation firm. Cheating spouse, adultery, infidelity, whatever you want to call it. So we do a lot of work. We still do a lot of work in this kind of activity of investigation.
A lot of people wonder, where is the investigation world heading with so much fraud out there? And when it comes to fraud, it comes to be fraud on the cheating spouse, infidelity. But not only the guy or the girl cheating the other girl or the other person, it's fraud on the money in the partner, in the house. How is the investigation world, the private investigation world, will help?
Okay, so yeah, I see what you want to try to say. The thing it's Florida, it's a no-fault state. So you can be cheating on your spouse 1,000 times, and obviously that's not going to change anything regarding your divorce. That's not because you can prove that your husband or your wife has been cheating that you're going to get more money, more child support, more alimony. This is not something, it's not related. It's a no-fault state, 50-50. The financial part that you can get, the only one, and if you can prove that your spouse has been cheating with you for many months and is spending money, the money of the marriage, with somebody else. I'm going to give you an example. Paying for the lover rent, paying for a car, giving her money, So if we can prove that, obviously you are entitled of 50% of what he spent on her or on him. Okay, depends on the case. So yes, that can help you for sure.
So it's got to be substantiated. It's got to be proof that the partner is spending money outside the marriage. What about people who are not, they just basically living together? They want to know, a lot of people want to know, how can we help them to make things fair for them? Let's say this couple has been 10 years together. The woman has worked so much hard supporting this man. They are not married. They have kids. They're helping each other, but the woman is doing everything to make this man the best man in the world. The woman behind the man. All of a sudden, this guy decided to cheat on her, right?
Mm-hmm.
What can she do? How can a private investigator help her?
Things like it depends on, for example, they're not married. So obviously, if you're not married in Florida, there is no such alimony. Okay. If there is children, it will be child support because that has nothing to do with the marriage situation. Okay. Now, financially, you have to understand that if they're not married, they are responsible for their own account, bank, real estate, asset. You understand? There is no legal liens regarding each other property. Okay, so that's what you need to make things clear. When you live with somebody and you start, for example, I had a case. The guy he was in a relationship with some girls. The girl has her own apartment. The gentleman start to remodel the apartment. He invests money there. There were never any contract or any, in writing. You understand? She decided to sell the house. And of course, the house goes for sale, and they sell it very well because it looks very well. It's very difficult to get your money back.
Wow.
That's something that you have to be careful. You have to have contract, you have to put things in writing. I know you can do also verbal contract, but I do not recommend that.
So it is recommended for somebody in this situation to basically look for us, for a private investigator, so that you can save time and money to obviously build up the case. Because regardless, if you, let's say you're married, right? And you are going through the process of the fraud situation, the cheating situation, the infidelity, the guy is spending money elsewhere. Now, the lawyer, when you reach out to a lawyer, they are going to anyway hire a private investigator. It behooves this client to reach out to us because we can work with them a better deal in a way that we can save them time and money, and then we can build up a case that they can take to a lawyer for certain.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to tell you, it doesn't concern everybody, okay? So imagine you're a wealthy businessman, okay? You are having an affair with another woman, okay, for many years. You buy her a brand new condominium on the beach, talking about maybe $1 million condominium. You buy a new car, of course, beautiful car, you can afford it. Well, all that, it's with the marriage money, okay? That's what I'm trying to do. Explain you. Now, cheating spouse in Florida, hiring a private investigator, it's also, I believe it's more personal. It's for you to have a closure, to move on with your life, because sometimes, when you've been involved with into a relationship for many years, you have the other part who's denying that he's having an affair or she's having an affair. And you always have the benefits of the doubt. So you want proof. And photo or video worth 1,000 words.
Correct.
And you can't deny it. When you catch someone kissing another woman or another man, obviously you have a case here. Then you can move on with your life. There is two choices in relationship when it's not doing well. You turn the page or you close the book. So turn the page means you find out there is a cheating, infidelity situation, but you want to work things out. All right? So you want to work your marriage out. Close the book, you divorce, you move forward. You understand?
Now, let me tell you about the option 4. I like that because what you're saying is true. But when somebody, based on the work of us giving them closure, helping them to understand closure and to understand the reality, the truth, some cases have been documented there that they just don't closure. They just go all the way to the next bad limit. And there have been cases where there have been extreme situations.
Of course.
How do you, as a private investigator, avoid or help your client to really get into the mindset of closure instead of walking away from your office, feeling rage, disappointment, pain? How do you help them?
Okay, so it's a lot of, as a private investigator, we are also a therapist. Without any certification, of course, but with time, when you do this job for 20 years, you've been involved in many, many situations. A lot of situations they look like the same, okay? But with different stories, okay? So I have many times people coming to my office, crying, being very emotional. So we know how to handle that. So sometimes when it's going a little bit too far, the person is very affected psychologically, I try to recommend a therapist or someone they can talk to. I am their therapist during the investigation because obviously we are the only person who they can share what's going on at the moment, okay? So we take it, which even if it's not our job to do it, but we have to deal with that. It is not easy because it happened that cheating spouse investigation has been the most dangerous cases in private investigator case. Why? Because it's very emotional. People react by emotion, by instinct, spontaneously. Sometimes they get mad. And we had cases that one of the spouse killed the other one. So it happened.
That's correct.
They unalive each other. They run over each other. They shoot each other. But it is very, you have to be careful.
I'm going to say that it's extremely important what you are saying right now. And I'll tell you why. We are living in a society where people enjoy people's pain. People celebrate when somebody in TV,
Of course.
they are finding their partner of 10 and 20 years cheating. The guys behind the camera and the guys doing the reality show,
Yeah.
they're just getting rating. But somebody's life, somebody's heart is getting destroyed.
Of course.
So we are in the business to make sure that you get closure, but that you walk away with an understanding that you have a future.
Absolutely.
We are not celebrating and getting rating out of your pain.
Of course.
We are not showing off your case to anybody. By law, you have confidentiality.
But look, I'm going to tell you something. People that don't understand that the role of a private investigator and why you should hire a private investigator when you want to investigate the behavior of your spouse, okay? Because, first of all, we have license from the state of Florida. So we are professional stalker.
Right.
It is. We have the right to follow and conduct any investigation.
Interviews.
Okay, in the norm of privacy and the laws, okay? But we have more privilege than any civilian person. But I had clients, they got in trouble because they were doing the investigation, even with their wife. And that's illegal. This is considering as stalking.
And again,
The other person can get a restraining order against her husband. It's domestic violence somewhere.
Again, I like what you're saying. Again, this is also important because people taking things in their hands, they basically complicating their life in such a way. In these days, you can get in trouble for nothing. And stalking people is extremely punishable right now.
Of course.
Not only you can by stalking, we mean if you even are behind a car, just following somebody. If you are caught up,
This is harassment. Yeah.
correct. Can you talk about that? Because
Yeah,
people need to understand this.
Yeah. It's funny because I had a client this last week called me. He was in New York, and he wanted to hire me to watch his girlfriend, and girlfriend is in Miami, and he believed he GPS on her and everything, but apparently she was what he said cheating with the coworker, and she worked in a restaurant. So after the shift, she was going somewhere with this guy and having a relationship. So the guy was telling me, so I explained him how we work, what we do, our minimum to do an investigation, how much we charge, how we're going to proceed, etc. And he was, wow, this is very expensive. I say, yeah, it's just, we don't work for free, and I don't think it's very expensive. I was telling him I was charging $125 an hour. And I say, listen, I know it's some money, but we are professional. That's what we do for a living. And sometimes when you go and you take your car to the mechanic charge you $150 an hour. So, $125.
And you have no choice.
And you have no choice, yeah. And sometimes, it's even difficult to control the time that they are working on your car. But you believe them, you trust them, and this is how it works. But so he was a little bit, concerned about the price, and he said that he was hiring Uber driver to do surveillance on his wife. That's crazy. First of all, this is illegal. This is stalking. Okay, so now he can be in trouble himself. The Uber driver can be in trouble
Automatically.
And Uber can be sued
Automatically.
automatically.